So this is an abandoned hotel we checked out in 2007, and I believe it was torn down in 2009. My cousin had told me about this place, and he wanted to check it out. It was in a really good neighborhood. It had these rows of bushes in the front, and then the hotel was behind it. You couldn't really tell that there was a hotel there. Um, it was kind of luck that he found it and we got to explore it before they tore it down. I'll try to do a Google Images thing at the end of the video to kind of give a better idea. But the hotel, there was this myth that I guess like a lot of people were like hookers and stuff were getting murdered there and all this other type of shit in like the 90s or whatever. I don't think that myth was true. I think they just ran out of business because of other hotels nearby being built. I think that kind of just ran them out of business. But I have to do an audio commentary over the pictures because the person who went with me the first time had the video camera and he lost all the footage. So I only have these few pictures of going in the first time. The second time I went in by myself and everything was boarded up. And I had to go in through the basement window and I dropped into like pitch dark. Luckily I had a flashlight. And then there was a third time I tried to go in there, but there was like security and shit like parked all around and stuff. So I never ended up getting to go in there a third time, and then they ended up tearing it down. So that was that. The shape of the hotel is pretty weird because it's kind of like an O shape. I don't know if you could tell in the pictures or not. So another thing that's pretty cool to notice is the outside on how overgrown everything is and how you can see the bushes actually growing against the windows and you know how tall the weeds are and everything. You can tell it's been abandoned for a pretty long time. Since this was like a U-shaped hotel, it's basically just, you know, tons of rooms, and the only thing really in there was like light bulbs that you could probably take, but every room pretty much looked the same. Here's a view inside one of the hotel rooms, looking out into the center of the hotel, like the courtyard. You can see how overgrown everything is, and I believe this is like the second floor. So that's how tall the trees and everything were overgrown. They're actually starting to come into the hotel. This picture is actually like one of my favorite pictures because it almost looked like blood was coming down the walls. I'm not quite sure what this was. Some kind of moisture damage or something, I'm not sure. But it was dripping down the walls almost as if the hotel was haunted or something. And I wanted to actually come back here and make a music video and actually a small movie. I had this whole cool idea of how to make a mini movie inside this place, but eventually it was torn down, so that really never happened. This was like a big pile of algae or moss or something. The window was either gone or open or broken open or something, and the floor was kind of like really there's like a lot of moisture and water damage kind of forming in this place. You know, mainly on the floors, and I guess it just from uh, everything in the courtyard coming in, I guess it just started growing this weird algae moss type of stuff. I'm really not sure what that stuff was. This picture is also pretty interesting because there's a bunch of bullet holes in this window. So somebody was actually, I guess, in the hotel actually shooting a gun off, which is pretty brave because the area that this was in was actually a really rich neighborhood, and you know, I'm surprised police didn't come, or maybe they did, I don't know, but you know, it's not a place that I would shoot weapons in. So now we're getting into like a sort of a different area. So most of this hotel was hotel rooms, like I said, but there was a like an entertainment room and this light hanging from the ceiling. I believe it was like that was like the entertainment room where they had a stage, and I don't know if they did like music there or if they did presentations there or what it was, but that was really the only thing in this place to kind of discover besides the kitchen. So this kitchen area is pretty interesting because that place was pitch dark, and even with our flashlights, we couldn't see really that far in front of us. This room right here with the stuff hanging from the ceiling, that was its entire room itself. It's everything was peeling and hanging like that all over the room. So that was a pretty cool picture. This picture is the kitchen, and like I said, it's pitch dark there. Um, it was really hard to get any kind of footage or camera shots or anything like that, just because it was so dark in there. And we heard something moving around in there, which was really weird. There was a another door in there at the end, and when you opened up the door, it was so pitch dark that like even our flashlights couldn't even see anything in there. And that's when we heard like a bunch of stuff fall in the kitchen behind us, and it was really creepy. The only thing I could think of that it was maybe there was an animal in there, like a rat or something, and it knocked some shit over, and we startled it, and it startled us. But it was so dark in there, and we had already seen everything in the hotel that we decided to just leave at this point. But this actual final picture here, it was actually pitch dark, and when we heard that noise, I clicked the camera for the flash to take a picture. So what we were seeing was pitch dark, but in the picture you're seeing the room for the flash. So we only seen like the light, for that flash of a second, and then you see all the orbs on the in the picture, which could have been dust particles because of how dusty it was in there. So here's kind of like a grainy picture from 2007 on Google Maps. You see, this is the main street, but this is the hotel here, and then you can see it went all the way down the side of the street. And then if you fast forward a few years, it's gone. So I think they knocked it down around 2009. So it's really hard to pull up 2007 images, and they're really not good quality. So I can't really zoom in. They're just really not good images, really. But yeah, that was the and it keeps zooming out. So like this is 2016. It doesn't really go back that far. It keeps switching on me. There we go, we got 2007 back again. And this is like pretty much the best image we're going to get, really. Closest to a video type of view. So this was like the front entrance here, which was pretty cool. Yeah, like you would park there and then go in through the front entrance door. And then you could see the building. You could go all the way down the side there. Yeah, it keeps zooming out. That's the best I could get, really.